Well, sipping, and I'm not necessarily saying there should or shouldn't be. I'm just
There shouldn't be.
relating a story about the cultural differences that my girlfriend has experienced in her travels.
Okay, and
So
now we get the Hill Fort Gen. Believe it or not, you can have a triple touching pond on this, which I don't think we'll see. It's very rare, Gen, but Gen's looking pretty balanced for all the players. Um, you got a little bit of gold at the back here for Sokol, but I mean, yeah, both all three players can wall the backs of their maps. It's a little bit more tricky for Stee, I guess, but not really. Res to contest. There's an argument that the res to the left of Stee is probably going to go uncontested, and maybe Newp and Sokol will end up fighting for the res in between them, but we'll see how that goes.
yeah, I'm wondering if Noop is going to build a dock.
He should. He should. I think if
Yeah.
you don't dock on Hillfort in the finals, then you're kind of asking to lose.
Really?
It's so hard to push up one of these hills to kill somebody. Doing that in a
Yeah.
setting where it makes you vulnerable as well at home, because your army's trying to push up a hill forward and will be taking losses to a degree. And you can't exactly add in super safe farming. Why? Why not dock?
Yeah.
And if we look at noob space, for example, right, you can double dock the right side, double dock the left side, and then wall to the wood lines. And now you're safe back here. You've got safe wood, you've got safe fish, safe gold.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because you can build the docks across from one another, right?
Well, you have to do them like staggered. So like you build one on one side, like on your side of the coast, and one on the mainland side. But you need like the corners touch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Diagonal
I'm
from
in.
one another.
Take a
Thank
seat
you
by
for
the
the
fire.
21 months, Lewis. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far.
All right. So, kind of a weird mill position for Noob.
Well, he just needed to put his headables in it right. So
Yeah, and it's right on the deer, so he'll be able to take those easy. I'm just saying it's kind of vulnerable,
yeah,
is all.
yeah, that's true. It would probably be more beneficial for him if the deer were at the back. But he could always build another mill later on and move his sheep over there and stuff like that. Similar like you would with relics,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Don't know if he will. He probably won't. I probably wouldn't. But
Yeah. And so, what are we going to see here?
FC is the name of the game on Hillfort. The exception to that has been Saracen archers. No Saracens in this game, or a pole thrush from Beery, and he's 2k4, so he plays on a different spectrum than we do.
Yeah. So, the uh the additional berries, I think, did Gajara's did Noop start with
Yeah.
the two berries under his,
Uh huh.
so he already took them?
Yep. Berries first, and then one ball, and then the rest of the berries, and then second ball. Wonder who's going to be aggressive. And he says, "Are there berries? There are berries. Usually, you got to go find them." That's all because it's a good question. Looking for hours. Oh, Newp spotted some to the south. And she says
And
maybe some outside but
Stem,
not a base, correct.
I don't know. If I'm Steve, I don't give these guys any kind of information.
Yeah, not in tournament
You
settings.
you,
But
you got to push that. Any little edge you have to push it. And if the guy doesn't know where the berries are, don't
yeah.
tell him.
So far, Steve seems like he's more familiar with the maps than the other two players. Like, I think he's consistently had the map knowledge.
Sokol's actually got a 1-bill lead on both of these guys. And Newp has clicked up to feudal age. And Steve's gonna crank out 2 more villagers. Newp's on his way up. And we got a couple more villagers in this shoot as well for Sokol. So looking like the initiative might be on Newp's side here.
Yeah, potentially, but are we going to see a fast imp from the Turks? Similarly, are we going to see FC into Costelier from the Gabundians? Because those things can one-shot buildings pretty handily themselves with that charge attack, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious as to why Newp's going up now. Is it just because he can, or is he doing some sort of weird 22 plus 2?
No, even with the bit of food income you get from the Kajara mill, there's no way he's affording Castle Age on this, so maybe just a mistiming.
He's already on gold, and he's on 4 farms already. He's coming out.
Found them, Newp says. But that's the thing. FCing on this map is tough. Missing the berries, it makes up quite a bit of a difference, and especially when you're Gajaras. So we've seen some players have really clean FCs on this, like in Division 3, Division 2. But in the lower divisions, they've really struggled to try and get a very clean FC off because we get affected by not having a meta build order down, right?
Yeah, and Noop's kind of missing out on an opportunity for a kill here, as he's got Sokol Scout all alone with his Camel Scout.
Yeah.
But I can also understand Noop wanting to
retain the HP on his camel, because it will turn into a camel rider when Castle Age arrives.
Once he gets Castle Age, yeah.
Yeah, so. There it is. See, I could read your diary. Idea, mind, brain, thoughts. Yep. 2 on gold for Steve. Yeah, I would have taken it too, but hey. Exclamation mark score, Bardock. The VOD will be up after stream, though, don't worry.
All right. So Sokol clicks up to Castle Age. We got 2 more villagers and Loom on the way for Stee. And Noop's all dressed up with nowhere to go. He got into Feudal Age and did absolutely nothing with it. He's dropping a market now.
Even with market abuse, he won't be able to afford Castle Age. It went up way too early, I feel like.
Yeah.
He's got more vills coming out to the berries.
And forward barracks from Newp as well.
I mean, he's consistent if nothing else. I think he's done a forward barracks every single game.
So I know Gujaras can garrison their docks, right?
Yes.
Do the docks shoot arrows when they're... So it's not like putting villagers inside of the TC?
Correct.
Okay.
The only docks that shoot arrows are harbors. Like, docks themselves don't actually shoot arrows. They don't have a stat for it. So they functionally cannot.
Alright, so...
Heads up play there from Newp. He spots the scout and sends the vills back.
Sokol's going to be up first, followed by Stee.
Cheers, Kansky.
And Newp finally clicks up himself. So he's going to have to kind of white knuckle it for about 2.5 minutes. Here he's leaving himself really vulnerable.
Bringing an outpost out, giving that extra vision. Maybe grab Town Watch. Be able to spot potential castle drops, anything like that. But yeah, I think it is an attempted film from Sokol. Clearly doesn't have the build down to a T, But again, that's expected on a map where you don't have berries, and it can throw you off a little bit.
Yeah. I think the farm count's okay.
Yeah. Normally you would have like 14 farms by this point. And like by the time you hit Castle Age, you should have already had 14 farms running. But the thing is, he's gone onto stone and then built a workshop monastery anyway. So that stone he's been gathering, he could have been gathering gold instead, and then could probably click up right now. But he obviously wants the castle.
I gotta remember that.
Remember what?
Whatever you just said.
For fast imp, the easiest way to do fast imp is 14 on food, 9 on wood, 6 on gold. Click up to the next stage, add 2 more vills in while we build blacksmith market. Click up to castle age. Queue up 3 more vills. Workshop, university, click up to Imperial Age. Right, it's the actual fast imp build itself is pretty easy to do, especially on closed maps. But it does leave you really tight in the eco department, so.
Alright, well that's what I'll do. Defensive castle from Newp.
I like it.
I like it.
Not sure how I feel about the positioning. I guess it is towards the corner that both of your opponents could potentially attack you from.
Yeah, I think it's in a fine spot. Especially, like you said, being way up on the hill, it's going to protect a good swath of that forward wall, or actually both walls, kind of on the left-hand side of his base.
The outposts in each other's outposts. I love it in the chat. He's been summoned. In time with that build, you can do it. It depends what civ you're playing, but you can do it in about 24, 25 minutes.
Fluffy does it in about 15.
The quickest Fimp I've done, I have a build for Michi that allows me to do a Fimp cut in like 20 minutes. 22 minutes or less. And like that's with Onager, and then actually gotten through the wood line.
I think the fastest I've ever done was with Portuguese on Fortress. I think I got like 19 minutes.
Oof.
Still lost the game, but...
Yeah, but still quick. Oh, and we've got Chakrams out. If I recall, back in the day, Newp was a Kajara's one trick. It was all he played. So, going back to Creature Comforts for the game that matters most to him over the other two, because he's the only one that can't win the match from this point, I think it's probably a pretty solid play.
Yeah, so this is game 5.
Nope,
So
this is game 6.
Yeah, okay, so Newp would have to win this one and the next one.
Correct.
In order
but like you said at the start of the stream, Chef, the last game is Migration, and out of the 3 of them, Newp has already showed prowess on water.
Yeah, and I think Newp is definitely going to be sitting pretty if he manages to win this game and then goes on to Migration. I think Sokol and Steve are definitely going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
As we see Sokol go up to Imperial Age already.
I wonder what civs we'll see come out. Italians have been seen a lot on Migration.
Oh, I'm sure we'll see in Italians, Japanese, Portuguese.
Japanese have been global banned, so we won't see those.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sure we'll see Portuguese, Malay.
Malay, yeah. Saracens could come out. Armenians could come out again. We could see more Dravidians.
Yeah.
Byzantines.
even Berbers with the faster moving ships on a water map like Migration, the faster moving ships might be a little bit of an advantage.
So Sokol's got enough for a castle, but he's going hand cannons, it seems. Oh, Steve, tap every single one of those farms, dude. I would have lamed every single one of them farms. I still would.
Yeah. And Steve's making pikes, and Newp's making Shrevoptias.
Yeah, there's what? 420 wood there that he could have just one-tapped away. Cavalier coming over, but Burgundians obviously get access to Cavalier in an age earlier. It costs them less to research, but they don't get bloodlines.
So, if you're Steve and Sokol, do you kind of try and work together to put a hurting on Newp?
Well, I was talking about this while you were in the wash closet. And they could just kind of have a handshake, a little nod of, I mean, if we kill this guy and just 1v1, one of us wins. But then I was like, that's what I was saying, how much do you trust the enemy of your enemy, right? Like,
Yeah.
at the same time, if you're Sokol or Steve, do you not think, well, if I go kill the other guy, and then I'm a little bit behind, but there's a chance I beat Newp anyway, then...
Yeah. Well, I think both of them have a really vested interest in ending the match right now.
Yeah. More
As
so
opposed
than ever,
to-
just because migration, right?
Yeah, going 2v2 or 2-2-2 and having it be match point, and then because I really do think that Newp has a pretty good edge on the water maps.
I'm surprised he's not getting punished right now. That lumber camp's been spotted by Steve. The one that's just in the middle of nowhere. Steve's also spotted the farms to the east as well, which Sokol hasn't, but Steve knows about them. Like, Newp is very in the open here.
And I noticed that Steve was building stone walls.
Yeah, and they cancelled
front
them. Yeah. It's just about stopping castle drops, right?
Oh, okay. So he wants to just... All right. So, first castle of... Or I should say second castle of the game coming up out in the middle for Steve here.
And it is in the direction of Sokol.
And Sokol's got the stone for a castle of his own.
But Treb Snipes can be pretty good at this. This is tense, says Steve, and yes it is. I can feel it. Nobody wants to be the first to fuck up, right?
Yeah. And Sokol with the hand cannons. How do hand cannons die to the chakrams, right?
Hand cannons actually outrange chakrams. So they outrange them by 2. So they do kill them. But I like the raw power of a hand cannon, like they're gonna 2-shot a chakram. 17 damage a shot, like maybe 3 shots, I guess. They'll get through them pretty quick.
Okay.
But in mass chakrams are really hard to deal with. But then BBC is an option for Turks as well. So
Newp needs to add skirms or continue with the camel play.
I think camels are better. I actually think Sharamsha Riders are better. Because the odds of Turks blinding camel is low, even though that's probably the best bet right now.
Yeah.
They don't get pikemen. They don't get arbalester. So, like, what's going to kill you if you go Sharamsha Riders? It would only be Turk camels, which they're not going to make. And Sharamsha Riders can take 5 projectiles. Hand cannons notoriously fire slow in comparison to archers units. Unless you're Burgundians, which have faster firing hand cannons.
Yeah.
But you can see already, both Newp and Steve are posturing towards Sokol here. Like, there's not large armies out, but both of those small armies are on a side each of Sokol's base. But he's the one to beat, I think. He may be the lowest score, but he's Turks, he's Imp, he has BBCs, he has hand cannons. He can kill a TC very quickly. in the current game state.
But I think Sokol kind of needs to do something here. Otherwise, these two mass up army on his doorstep and run him over.
I mean, he hasn't taken any ground, and I know you can't place TCs, but just having that land, having that ownership, that matters.
Yeah. And Newp is dropping a siege workshop over in the direction of Steve.
Armored elephants.
Huh.
And Sokol actually being bottom score right now. I think a degree of that is scouting, in fairness. He hasn't done much of it. Build count is even between Sokol and Newp as well, both the players in Imperial Age. Stay having the lead overall, but... Okay, Goldville's going to be spotted. Cavalier can take a turn down here. But they're going to focus the Palisade Gate instead, as Sokol is moving forward. So pretty good timing for Steve. Pretty unlucky timing for Sokol.
Yeah, and Sokol does have 3 monks on the field.
Yeah, and over they come. Good for him that he had them at home still. 2 conversions. Will he get the 3rd? He will. And that's 3 Turkish Cavalier, my friend.
Yeah, good monk micro from Sokol there.
Hand cannons pushing forward. Do we end up in a situation where Steve gets housed? Because most of his houses are outside of Newp space and they're being killed by armored elephants.
Could be. He's knocking down 2 at a time, so... Well, you were right, Fluffy. Chakrams died of hand cannons, and now...
Yeah,
Newp has to kind of feel the walls closing in on him here, right?
Yeah, if it's 30 versus 30, I'm not sure how that goes. Like, if the Chakrams can get in, it's going to have, like, pretty good micro for the hand cannons, but it's rough. And Halbin for Steve now as well. I don't like this castle for Newp. I feel like it's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, not quite sure what exactly that does.
How some deal with down now
on the field for Sokol.
Yeah, they've been sitting in this workshop for a long time.
Yeah, Newp's ripe for the picking here. Either one of these swoop in and take him out.
Well, there's no siege from Steve. Steve has 4 halb and 2 monks and nothing else. He's been very greedy.
And I think that's one of Newp's trebs up in the north that's going to get caught out.
Thing is as well, hand cannons also are ranged town centers, so they could just walk in and just wail on the TC without even needing the BBCs. They shouldn't, but they could. Oh, into the castle go the hand cannons. And here come the BBCs now. And even Newp when dies here, even when Newp dies here, then we are guaranteed to have a victor this game. It's both Steve and Sokol are on 2 wins already. Good delete from Newp. 1 camel converted.
And Newp's gonna try the Desperation Castle, but there's 6 bombards here to take aim at that.
Even firing uphill, that castle probably goes down before it goes up. Chakrams are pouring in, but trying to single file in uphill against hand cannons, and it ain't gonna work. Up the hill, the bombard cannons get pushed.
Yeah, and the castle goes down for Newp. And It's only getting worse for him from here on out.
And Newp calls the GG. Valiant effort. I feel like he's been under a lot of pressure throughout the entire set. And it's definitely given it all. Definitely given us a show. And the way that he's approached these games.
Yeah.
I really respect how he's played it.
Yeah, and I really do kind of feel bad for him. I would have liked to have seen him get to play Migration. But definitely well played from Newp, especially in the one that he won, the Aftermath game. I think he played that one very thoughtfully and did a really good job. Now, as we see Steve pushing over here on the left,
the thing is, we now have 25% extra hit points from the Turks with their gunpowder versus the Burgundian faster firing hand cannons, which is 25% attack. Oh, it's not faster firing, sorry, they just have 25% attack, so.
Yeah, I think I would give the Burgundian hand cannons the advantage here.
BBC versus Trebs. Sending the Vills out to kill the Trebs as well. I think that's necessary. As his own BBCs are going forward to try snipe as well. Repairs coming in. Trebs do so much damage though. There's only one Treb left. The castle stops the hand cannons from being able to walk in. No such luck for Stee at home though.
Yeah, the castle's...
He needs
really
to just walk in. He needs to just walk in with everything. Just literally just walk in. Because you're not going to get home in time. You have to just walk in.
Yeah,
let some of them die to the castle fire and just walk in and sit under the TC.
Yeah, and it looks like he has kind of dove to try and kill the bombard cannon, but the bombard cannon did survive. Meanwhile, yeah, the BBCs are going to come over.
And that is all she wrote as Sokol takes the set. 3, 2, 1. Loyal Legion gets the prize pool, gets the fastest kill TC as well from the other game, and we'll move on to Division 4. So, wow.
So, very well played from Sokol. Very well played from both of these guys. Or all three of these guys, I should say. And, yeah, they left it all on the map.
Yeah. Apparently they were still having a bit of fun and chats and stuff. Prior to the last game there. But yeah, very well played to all of them.
Steve says, I probably win if I dive that bombard cannon, but I guess, but thought he had more back.
Yeah.
And Newp says, I still don't know why they 2v1'd me every game. Well, I said it at the beginning of the cast, Newp. I think they both saw you as being the biggest threat.
The dark horse, yeah. Especially with Migration coming up as the last map.
Yeah, I don't. If I was either one of these two guys, I would not want to play you on Migration.
Yeah. And
having actually played you on Migration before.
Out of a couple of tests we've done as well, there was plenty of times where Andy felt like he was being 2v1'd. But you got to remember, like, you don't see what the other players are doing as well. Right? Like, there was a moment where I'd be attacking Andy. Like, oh, well, Kanski was raiding me on the other side as well. Like, well, with all due respect, you're being 2v1'd, but I don't know that you're being 2v1'd, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that Kanski's hitting you. The same way that you don't know that, the same way that Kanski doesn't know I'm hitting you. Like, we were all in VC together, but we weren't, like, telling each other stuff. And there was a couple of tests, and that would happen where, like, oh, wait, you're both hitting me now, or, like, we were both hitting Kanski, and, like, it's just the way it goes sometimes. And that's part of the charm, though, in my opinion. Part of the charm.
I appreciate you having me on. I consider it an honor to be the one that you chose to cast the finals of this division.
Oh man, it was a
And
blast. I loved having you.
I appreciate it. You got me out of bed. Mrs. Chef thanks you too because you got me out of bed a little bit earlier than I normally get out of bed. So her and I are going to get to spend some more time together. And I'd like to thank her. I don't know if she's watching or not, but she has been very gracious and very patient with me. So, but yeah, I had a lot of fun, man. I really did. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to actually commit the time that I would have needed to be able to actually play in this. I wish I would have, and I will be there with bells on if you decide to do this again.
Well, I appreciate that.
So, and chat, thank you very much for hanging out and watching us. But I'm gonna go and get some lunch with my lady now.
Nice enjoy.
All right, be good, guys.
Alright, guys, that was Iron Chef, absolute legend. Now, I have a tournament set to play. I know No Rest for the Wicked, right? In Cementero's LWC 3v3 group phase. So I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to go raid into him. Thank you, everybody who's been here with the support. I really do appreciate it. It makes casting it even more fun, having you guys come and join us with the stories, with the excitement. I do love it. I really appreciate it.